Hello, I'm Alex Freel, and this is People in Perspective. Today, I have my guest, Mr. Styler, a teacher and coach at RB. How are you, sir?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Let's jump right into the questions. So, when did you decide you wanted to be a teacher?
I think I decided I want to be a teacher when I was going into my sophomore year of college. I actually had 3 majors prior to my sophomore year of college. One was business administration, then I got into marketing, and then I was in pre-law, and eventually just kind of ended up with education. I figured it was going to be the best spot for me.
Where did you go to college?
I started off my freshman year at Illinois Wesleyan University. Lasted there for a little bit, played football, and then after a couple injuries, decided it wasn't for me, went home, spent a semester at community college, and then ultimately ended my last 3 years at the University of Iowa.
Tell me a little bit about the University of Iowa and what that college life was like.
It was awesome. It's a great school, great institution. The education program there was amazing. The professors that I had there were some of the greatest people I've ever met. Really helped me kind of get on the right path. It was awesome sharing an experience. My older brother went to the University of Iowa, so being able to share that with someone in my family and having every other male in our family go to the Big Ten. I also have a sister who's at Indiana. So being in the Big Ten was always super important, and just the University of Iowa was somewhere I've loved to be and always want to go back.
How did you end up at RB?
I actually ended up at RB through student teaching. I got my student teaching placement the day before I graduated college. So most people get it about weeks, months before, but for whatever reason, nothing was sticking. And actually the Saturday before, or Friday before, because we graduated on Saturday, I got a call just saying that they had an opening in the student teaching position here at RB. So I took it and ran with it, and I've been here ever since.
So what classes do you teach here?
Currently, I teach Western Civ with all the freshmen and government.
What is your favorite class to teach?
It's tough. I like them all so far. Seniors can be a little bit challenging as they're getting checked out. Freshmen can be a little challenging with how squirrely they can be and a lot of energy. But with all, I love everything. Teaching all subjects has been great.
So you're in the social studies department. When did you
Yes.
decide you wanted to pursue that?
It's always been my favorite subject. I knew that when I got into teaching, that was the only one that I could ever imagine doing. I always had a love for it. My dad was a lawyer, so he kind of instilled in me like this love for the judicial process and kind of this admiration for history. And when I was trying to figure out what I was doing with those majors that I mentioned before, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, didn't really understand what I wanted to do, just try to get through. And then once I really found my calling, realizing that I loved coach, loved to be around kids, just landing history was the perfect spot and never wanted to go back.
So you're a coach of football and lacrosse. Why don't
Yeah.
you talk a little about both of those?
Yeah, it's been great. I played football all growing up. Was able to play for that year in college that I mentioned, and I just always wanted to be a part around the sport. The biggest influences of my life have always been my coaches. I still talk to my high school football coach like once a month. We stay in contact. So just being able to be a part of this program here with Coach Curtin and him giving me the opportunity to start with the varsity and now being able to take over the sophomore program has been awesome. And then lacrosse has been a totally different animal because I've never played lacrosse. Kind of got my start here when I first started student teaching and the club was just starting. They didn't have a coach yet, so they called me up and wondered if I would be interested, and been doing it ever since. Started with the girls, and now this year is going to be our first year with the boys, and it's also our first year as a actual sport here at RB. For the last 2 years, we were operating as a club, but being able now to come out and be an actual sport has been awesome. So we're excited.
So what are your plans for the future? Are you going to keep teaching and keep coaching? Is that the plan, or
That's
what
the
are you
plan.
doing?
That's the ultimate plan. I don't see anything changing. I love teaching. I love what I do. Definitely one of the only people that I know that loves coming to work every day and doing what we get to do as teachers and as coaches. And for the future, I mean, that's what I hope to stay here at RB. I love it here. I love all the kids, the staff. It's been a blessing to be able to be here.
So you're a football coach. How hard is that? Do you feel a lot of pressure? Obviously, RB is very serious about their football program. Do you feel like you always have to win? Do you feel like your job is hard?
I mean, there's definitely some challenges to being a coach, but at my level, at the sophomore level, we just put a huge emphasis on keeping kids in the program. I love the game. The game has given so much to me, and just like every other coach that we have in the program. So if I'm allowing kids to continue their passion with playing football, and if they enjoy what we do, then I consider it to be a success. So at the lower levels, the wins and losses aren't always the biggest thing. It's being able to really develop, the guys that want to come out and play, not only into better football players, continue to craft their talent, but if we make them into a bit better men here at RB and better community citizens, then I think we've done a pretty good job.
So what is your favorite part about football?
Mm-hmm. Everything. I love everything about football. I love the game plan behind it. I love actually playing it. But the way that it kind of teaches you some values that you never really expected you would be instilled with. It's the ultimate team game. It's the only way that you have 11 guys on both sides fighting for everything. And if you got to rely on, every guy has to do his job. If that's not the case, then your right guard decides to kind of take that play off. That could totally blow up everything. And being able to kind of build that bond within the program and being able to kind of see how hard people are working for the benefit of each other is something that you don't really see in a lot of sports, especially to the extent that you do, right? Because you may only have 11 guys playing at once, but there are 30, 40, 50 guys on the team that are all counting on each person to do their job day in and day out. And if it doesn't happen, then you're not going to be successful. So I think just that overall camaraderie, that brotherhood that you see within the football programs, no matter what level you're at, from Pee Wee all the way up to the highest levels in the NFL, guys are always talking about how you have to be playing for the guy next to you, not always the guy that you are. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. And have you played lacrosse before, or is lacrosse relatively new to you?
No, like I said, never played lacrosse. All through high school, most of my friends played lacrosse. I played baseball growing up. I played baseball in high school. But, I always picked up the sticks anytime my buddies were out playing around. But no, I've picked it up 3 years ago when I first started. So it's all very new to me. But we're learning. I got some great guys on the team that have always kept me honest and have helped me out a lot. A lot of great parents in the community that have helped me out a lot, and a lot of friends who are coaching throughout the state that help me anytime I need it. Give them a call. We'll go to different clinics together, and we'll try to get things figured out that way. So it's been good. It's been a challenge, but it's been awesome.
All right. Well, I'm Alex Freel, and this has been People in Perspective. Thank you, Mr. Styler, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Alex.
We'll see you next time.